from the videos I saw of her as a trustee, if you ask me, not if I didn't know anything, like, hey, what would you think of that person if they were the supervisor or the mayor? I would have been like, yo, they always seem to be on the right side of every argument that they're having in their role as a trustee. So, I can see how somebody fell into that. Yeah. And she turned around and put the blame on Keith, saying she doesn't know anything about being the mayor. So she followed his order. Now that's an argument that's going to be feud out and not going to work. If she wasn't so corrupt, she could get it. Man, whatever, man. The corruption is probably what make her attractive to most people. He said she's just so corrupt, like, nah, I couldn't. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, right. You ain't got the lie, man. That's the same thing people say, guys say about Sexy Red. Y'all full of crap. She too damn greedy. Instead of sharing the pie, she took it for herself. And I think that's another part of it too. I think that's a good comment. I think that I think that there probably were some promises and or assurances. Yeah, shout out to that comment because that's the name of the game. Like, yo, if I'm a trustee and I'm nominating you, and you like, yo, you come to me like, yo, DFD, do I have your support in getting this referendum passed or something like that? Getting my support is going to come at a price. So there probably were, I'm 100% sure there was some backdoor deals made that they thought they could get. And they thought they could get those deals because they probably thought, like I said, that she was a little naive and they'll be able to use some form of manipulation. And lo and behold, little did they know, she was like, nah. See, I agree completely. Hey, as a trustee, I saw one video where it was like, they were using like it was like the village gym or community center to have like it was like raised boom boom room or something like that. But I saw a few videos and I'm gonna be honest, I was actually impressed with her position and her stance on the matters that were at issue. I mean, that is true. That's a good point. Common sense. That's true. I'm gonna give you a you get a chime for that. That is a good point. But I don't know, and you've probably seen more videos and more of what was going on in this community prior to her assuming these super leadership roles. But I don't know. I think the push that she had for the previous mayor was something that most people would all agree to. Because when she ran on the whole transparency. Like, yo, she literally ran her position when she was going against that mayor and what she pushed him on was what people are pushing her on, a lack of transparency. You're not being transparent. We want transparency. The same thing. So I think that's a good point. Is a fair point, but I mean, I don't know. When it's like one of those things, how can I explain it? Like, all right, I don't know if y'all ever like at any point in your life as a child or adult, as you if you watch wrestling, sometimes the people who we support more aren't the people who have the belt. It are the people who chasing for the belt because we like to see that chase. And I think that's kind of what we got a little bit of and saw when she served in that role as a trustee. She appeared to be on the right side of a lot of arguments. She would come at the person with the belt, the mayor, for instance, for things that nobody will generally disagree with. Like, yo, we want you to be transparent. What's happening with this money? All the same shit everybody's coming at her for. And so, I feel like it's one of those things like in wrestling, you're like, yo, or you're like, man, I can't wait till they get the belt. And when they finally get the belt, you're like, man, they got the belt and they suck. And that's just kind of what it is. We saw the chase for the title was good because everything seemed right and pure. She was a good guy, so to speak, or a good person. And then she, got the belt and got the title and became a heel. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Give me a little bit more on that. I can see where you're going with that, and I I do agree. And I said it earlier. I said the trustees are the blame, and my exact words was something like, especially the township trustees, because so I see where you're going with that, and I think that's a fair point. I think that's a fair point, Brown Sugar. Um, yeah, I think that's a fair point. Just and what I looked at, I could see the argument where the village trustees appear to be making much more of an attempt to do what's in the best interest of the constituents of the village. So I agree with that point. I definitely agree with that point. Yeah, I see a lot of people who probably agree with that point. Mm, true, true, but I can see where Brown Sugar is going with it. If anything, Tiff manipulated them and changed the game after her position was promoted. Hey, I don't think that's manipulation. I think that she played politics and they should have known. But all those people on that trustee, I don't know. I don't know. It's yes, there's some manipulation at play, but I don't know. That's it's a good point and it's actually a fair point, but yeah, I agree. I could see how that could be true. Multiple things could be true. I think that they thought she was a little naive, and I think that she thought, "Hey, these people think think that I'm naive." Little do they know, I'm gonna push the limits of my authority and power once I get that position and see how far this could go, how far I could push the button. So I agree with that. And that makes her worse because it represents she is not that stupid as a trustee and means she knows full well her action as mayor and supervisor. I agree with that as well. That is a great point, common sense. That's the whole reason why her argument that she's trying to blame a lot of things on, Keith Freeman or somebody who's a subordinate to her isn't going to hold muster or isn't going to, it's not going to pass the smell test because you can't blame it on these people because you've been involved in government, in these local government, in this municipality for years. Yeah. The Dalton trustees ran on her ticket for mayors. I think they're spending in the beginning is where the flag started to raise, and it was Belcher who was calling her out in the beginning. Good point. I agree. Thornton, the Thornton trustees, the township trustees, do appear worse, in my opinion. They do appear worse. You got some support? Okay. I mean, a little so. Hey, I'm just trying to call it. I'm just trying to call it like I see it. As a trustee, I don't think she was terrible from what I observed. Like I said, I only watched maybe 7 to 10, potentially maybe. I probably watched 7 to 10 hearings as trustee on just random topics. I just went and looked, and I was like, oh, and I didn't go on anybody's YouTube page. I actually went to like the township website and just looked at old stuff because I was like, what the fuck was she doing before we got there? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I know, right? Oh, I got my cape on. I'm Captain Save him today. Like when I said she probably gonna go 60 days without doing anything that could be perceived as violating the TRO. I know that was. I need a sound effect for when I do some stupid shit. Yeah, yeah. That's funny. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I know I was wrong. So like, I was wrong. She didn't go 30 hours. She maybe went 30 hours. But yeah, yo, shout out to y'all. Y'all right. Y'all right. Hey, I got my cape on. Let me stop trying to be Captain Save